There comes a time when silence says more than sorrow. When your absence begins to echo louder than your presence ever did. You don't always have to fight to be seen or beg to be loved. Sometimes your greatest revenge is evolution. Growth. Becoming everything they thought you couldn't be. And walking away without a word. This is not about arrogance. It is about reclaiming the worth you once handed out for free. It's about turning your pain into power, your rejection into redirection, and your heartbreak into the very fuel that builds your legacy. You are not here to prove anything to them. You are here to become someone that even they can't forget. Not because you told them to regret it, but because your glow made it impossible not to. In these 7 ways, you will learn the path. You will rise above your past, stand stronger in your solitude, and embody the kind of calm power that makes the world turn and look twice. So let them go. Let them forget you. Because once you start becoming this version of yourself, regret will be the only language they speak. Way number 1. Build a presence that speaks even in silence. You don't need to talk too much. You don't need to constantly explain who you are or what you're becoming. Your presence alone can say it all. The way you carry yourself, the way you walk into a room without needing anyone's validation, the way your eyes stay focused while everyone else is seeking attention. That presence is rare. It's magnetic. And when someone loses it, they feel the weight of that absence deep in their soul. To become unforgettable, stop chasing. Stop reacting. Start observing. Let your stillness speak. Let your silence become your loudest form of self-respect. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself. It means you become intentional. You speak when it's necessary. You move when it matters. You choose your words with care. You show people who you are through consistency, not chaos. And as time passes, they begin to feel it. The difference. The maturity. The elevation. They remember how safe your energy was. How grounding it felt to be near you. And when you are no longer there, that silence burns. It becomes the loudest reminder of what they had, and what they let go. This is how you create gravity. You stop explaining and start embodying. You stop performing and start becoming. People forget what you said. They even forget what you did. But they never forget how your energy made them feel. So build that presence. Let it be patient. Let it be powerful. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need to prove anything. The right people will feel it. And the wrong ones will regret walking away from it. When you show up every day with quiet strength and calm confidence, you stop chasing closure. Because your very existence becomes a chapter they keep rereading in their mind. Not out of love, but out of regret. Way number 2. Glow up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You do not become unforgettable by changing your hair or wearing new clothes. You become unforgettable by changing your energy. When someone lets you go, the most powerful response is not begging, not chasing, not even silence. It is evolution. It is turning your pain into power. Your glow-up should be so deep that it touches your soul. It begins when you stop obsessing over what they think and start paying attention to who you are becoming. You level up your mind by feeding it wisdom, not distractions. You read with purpose, you write with clarity, you listen to learn. You stop wasting your days scrolling and start using your time to build yourself in silence. You glow up emotionally when you master your reactions. No more emotional outbursts, no more desperate texts, no more trying to be seen. You become so calm, so rooted in self-respect, that even chaos cannot move you. You no longer need closure because you close the door yourself. You forgive, not for them, but for your own freedom. You glow up spiritually when you reconnect with meaning. When you make time to be alone, to reflect, to pray, to detach from noise. You stop filling every silence with voices and start letting silence heal you. You let your soul breathe. That is when the transformation becomes dangerous. Because now, you are not looking for validation. You are not chasing people who walked away. You are not proving your worth. You are building it. Quietly. Consistently. And they will notice. They will remember you not as someone they lost, but as someone they never truly deserved. The glow-up is not a revenge plan. It is a revelation. A revelation of who you were meant to be, before they tried to break you. This kind of power does not scream. It whispers in your presence. It speaks in your discipline. And it lives in your ability to walk alone without bitterness. When your mind is sharp, your emotions are steady, and your spirit is light, no one can forget you. You do not just glow. You radiate. You rise so high, even their regret cannot reach you. Way number 3. Elevate in silence, let the absence speak. You do not have to shout to be heard. You do not have to announce your glow up. The most powerful transformation is the one done in silence, far away from those who underestimated you. When someone lets you go or pushes you aside, your greatest response is not revenge, not pleading, not proving. Your response is disappearing into your discipline, elevating in silence, and letting your absence speak in rooms where your presence was once taken for granted. There is power in silence. There is power in not explaining your choices. There is power in watching your world rebuild itself without them in it. When you stop sharing your every move, you regain something sacred. You reclaim mystery. You become unpredictable again. They cannot track your steps or decode your next act. That confuses people who once thought they had you all figured out. Let them wonder. Let them scroll in silence. Let them remember the last version of you and assume that is who you still are. Because the truth is, you are no longer explaining, you are executing. You are no longer asking for permission to grow, you are growing. They may not hear from you, but the world will. Your energy will shift. Your habits will sharpen. Your goals will pull you forward like gravity. The best kind of revenge is not anger. It is success built so privately that they do not even see it coming. It is showing up one day so far ahead that it stings them just to look at you. So you walk alone, for now. You stay off the radar. You do not give them the pleasure of seeing your struggle or the honor of watching your rise. You owe them nothing. Let your silence disturb the comfort of their imagination. Let your stillness echo in the empty spaces where you used to explain yourself. Be so focused on your discipline that the idea of going back becomes laughable. You are no longer proving you are better without them. You are simply becoming it. Quietly. Completely. Stoically. And when they finally realize what they lost, they will look back to find you. But you will be gone. Not just physically, but spiritually. Because your silence was not just distance. It was your rebirth. Stay silent. Elevate in peace. Let your absence echo louder than their presence ever did. Way number 4. Radiate self-respect without seeking validation. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are not here to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. When you walk into a room, your presence alone should communicate that you respect yourself. Not through arrogance, not through words, but through the quiet strength of someone who knows who they are. The way you carry yourself, the way you set boundaries, the way you refuse to tolerate disrespect speaks louder than any explanation ever could. When someone lets you go, tries to replace you, or treats you like an option, the greatest mistake you can make is trying to win them back. You are not an echo begging to be heard. You are a force. And if someone cannot recognize your value, that is not your cue to prove it, that is your cue to walk away with your head high and your standards higher. In a world that rewards noise, be the woman who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't plead. Be the one who removes her energy and lets absence teach the lesson. Your respect for yourself must be stronger than your desire to be liked, loved, or chosen. You do not need to be seen clapping for yourself in public. The world can keep guessing. You do not need their applause to feel validated. That's because your self-worth is not up for discussion, not up for negotiation. The moment you stop seeking permission to feel whole is the moment you begin living in true freedom. People regret losing those who love quietly but carry an unshakable core. Be that person. Be the calm in the chaos. Be the standard they remember when everything else falls apart. When you walk away with grace, not bitterness, and when you rise without seeking revenge, you become unforgettable. You become the one they let go of but never really get over. Because real self-respect lingers. It leaves a mark. And when it's gone, it echoes in the spaces where they once felt secure. Let them feel the absence of what they once took for granted. Let your quiet dignity be the loudest thing they remember. Way number 5. Build a life that doesn't need their presence. When you stop relying on others to fill the gaps in your soul, something powerful happens. You begin to build a life so full, so grounded, so deeply fulfilling, that their absence no longer shakes your foundation. You start showing up for yourself in ways you always wanted someone else to. You create routines that serve your peace. You chase goals that reflect your true potential. You explore hobbies, passions, friendships, and dreams that bring meaning to your life with or without anyone by your side. This is the ultimate power move. Not revenge, not silence, but evolution. You evolve into the kind of person who no longer waits for closure, no longer chases apologies, no longer needs the past to make sense. And when they look back, when they scroll through your life from a distance, they will see a version of you they don't recognize anymore. One that glows differently. One that laughs without hesitation. One that is not haunted by what didn't work out. They will feel the distance not because you blocked them, but because you outgrew the space you once shrank to fit inside. You stopped needing their presence to feel validated. You stopped hoping they'd come back. And instead, you focused on becoming someone you yourself are proud of. That is what creates regret. Not bitterness. Not anger. But your quiet transformation. Your decision to live fully, love yourself completely, and move forward without looking back. You didn't just walk away. You walked into a life where you are whole. And that is the moment they realize they didn't just lose a person. They lost a future. A version of life where you were willing to give your all. But now, you are too busy giving that all to yourself. Keep building. Keep rising. Let your life be the evidence that you never needed them to become everything you were meant to be. Way number 6. Control your emotions, control the story. There is nothing more intimidating than a person who refuses to react. When someone wrongs you, betrays you, underestimates your worth and expects a storm, silence becomes your greatest strength. You don't cry in front of them. You don't scream. You don't beg them to understand your pain. Because deep down, you know, the moment you let them see you broken is the moment they think they still hold power. But you are not that version of yourself anymore. You've learned the art of restraint, the kind that makes others question whether they ever truly knew you at all. You no longer hand over your peace like a gift to people who haven't earned your respect. You choose your battles, and most of them aren't worth your energy anymore. When you hold back, when you stay calm, when you let your silence do the talking, you flip the script. You are no longer just reacting to life, you are directing it. You are choosing not to let someone's temporary role dictate your long-term emotional health. And that shakes them. They expected chaos, they expected drama, they expected you to fall apart just to prove they mattered. But instead, you remain steady. You remain grounded. And that quiet confidence speaks louder than any outburst ever could. It says you have mastered yourself. It says you no longer need to explain why you're leaving or how badly they hurt you. Because people know what they did. They always know. But when they see you walk away with your head high and your heart still intact, that's when the regret sets in. Because your grace exposed their cruelty. Your silence echoed louder than their excuses. You didn't just move on, you moved up. And while they stay stuck in their pattern, you rise above it. So next time the world tries to pull you out of character, remember this: the one who remains calm controls the story. Let them feel the weight of your composure. Let them regret not what you said, but what you refused to say. Way number 7. Let your growth be the revenge. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to show up with explanations, with justifications, or with long emotional speeches about how much you've changed. If they let you go thinking you'd crumble without them, let them watch you rise in silence. Growth is not about rubbing your success in someone's face, it is about becoming so focused, so healed, and so powerful that your old self becomes unrecognizable. The you they thought they knew. She's gone. And in her place stands someone who no longer needs validation, no longer needs closure, no longer waits for someone to value her worth. You used to explain your pain. Now, you just improve. You used to chase people who didn't deserve you. Now, you chase purpose. That shift, that internal elevation, that mental clarity, it does more damage to the ego of the one who let you go than any angry message or emotional outburst ever could. They expected you to stay stuck. They expected you to miss them, to spiral, to wish they'd come back. But instead, you've built something unshakable. A life of calm. A mind of discipline. A presence that turns heads not with noise but with energy. You didn't glow up just for aesthetics. You leveled up in patience, in silence, in standards. And now, they see it. Maybe not in your words, but in how you walk into a room. In how you no longer reach out. In how you treat yourself like someone worth protecting. That's the kind of revenge no one can deny. So when they ask what happened to the old you, you just smile. Because she evolved. She got tired of being taken for granted. She got tired of breaking herself to fix others. She realized peace isn't something you find in someone else, it's something you build within. And now that you found it, no one can take it away. Let your growth be the goodbye. Let your healing be the statement. And let your life be the reason they regret ever letting you go. Some people only realize your value when your silence becomes louder than your presence. But by then, it is too late. You are not someone to be begged for, explained to, or convinced. You walk away not to hurt them, but to save yourself. Because sometimes, your peace demands your absence. And in that distance, your worth grows in echoes they can no longer ignore. This is the power of restraint. The strength of not reacting. The wisdom of knowing when to close the door without noise. If you felt this truth in your soul, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Stay stoic and build your stoic legacy.